Welcome to episode 5 of Travel Market Life. And today we're going to be joined by Soraia Letra from Yield Planet. She is the Chief Business Development Officer there, based in Poland. Hi there. Good afternoon, Soraia. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well. Thank you very much. So what's the situation like in Poland at the moment?
It's getting better. It's getting better. So, well, we have been closed for almost 4 weeks now, but from since Monday, we're actually allowed to go for a walk. And Poland has already drafted their plans for the easing up. So, yeah, we hope to see more and more businesses opening in the nearest future. In the second stage of the program, we are hotels and other accommodation properties are planned to reopen, and there are a lot of gossips around it. We don't know yet when that will happen, but probably in the beginning of May. But yes, there are a lot of positive reports and insights that we can see. So things are getting better.
And today we're going to be looking at really this idea of distribution, particularly for hotels and how they get out to the marketplace, the changes that we could be expecting, and definitely we'll see if borders are not open, and that then the impact on contracted rates and dynamic pricing. So Yield Planet, it's a hotel technology company, provides channel management, booking engines and other tools for hotels in the space. So when it comes to distribution, what are going to be the key challenges that hotels are going to be facing over the next few months, and how can they organize themselves?
Yes, Yield Planet is focused on hotel distribution and revenue management. And we are seeing that in the nearest future, we might see a lot of changes. From the very beginning, we are trying to help our clients to mitigate the impact of COVID. And most of all, we are telling pretty much everyone to focus on long term. So there is a lot to do right now. We are seeing that hoteliers should. You mentioned that borders will remain closed. So what we are encouraging our clients to do is to concentrate distribution on more domestic markets, for example, for instance, and to review their distribution strategy. So there's a lot to do right now, and we believe that if hotels will be prepared, we will rethink and work on their strategy. Right now, they will be prepared or much more prepared for the rebound. So currently, there are a lot of things to be done by hotels. They're conducting audits on their existing platforms, on the OTAs that they're using, on whether they're using other types of channels, on whether they have a balanced marketing mix. On whether they should be adding different types of online sales channels that they were not using in the past.
And when it comes to really changing their distribution, I mean, if the hotels have traditionally only been using 4 or 5 channels, and some of them have only really taken on the big players, and you really need to target a more local marketplace, where do hotels start to be able to find the right players to work with in the fields and work on contracts that's going to work for them now? Because I'm assuming there's that having access to a specific market, especially the national market, for those who might have been working more on bringing international travelers in, that's quite a big change to the way that they've been doing business.
Yes, I mean, I would believe that some of them will start to look for local platforms, for local travel agencies, and will start to work with them. It really depends on the type of property we're talking about. It can happen on the other way around. So we can see hotels that were exclusively selling to tour operators, moving or adding B2C channels to their strategy.
And how are they? What's your sort of advice you go for them to be able to find these relevant partners? Then, I mean, do you have a list of channels on your books that you work with, and they can have a look through to see who they can select to distribute to?
Yes, of course. We are currently integrated with around 500 platforms. That would include typical OTAs, but also GDSs, tour operators, wholesalers, and we are integrating more as we speak. Actually, for our with all our current customers, we're encouraging them actually to review their online distribution strategy, and we are offering them the possibility to add more channels for the next months without any extra charge from us. So even if they're using a package with us that would include up to 5 channels, they can actually add more right now, because we know that now it's time to review the strategy. And it could be that, for example, a vacation rental that is typically distributing to the major OTAs and to one or two of the typical vacation rental channels might actually at this moment need a different type of channel. So maybe a platform that is typically directed for apartments for mid and long-term rental. So they can actually reach out to us, and we are integrating as we speak new channels, being those mid and long-term sales channels, or for instance tour operators that in the past would only work with contracted rates and that have now reached out to us because they know that they need to change or rechange the way they were working.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really interesting one, and some discussions that I had towards the end of last year, because the wholesale market, the tour operator market have done things very traditionally, and the sort of like the digitalization of that area has little changed really in the last 20 years, with hotels still having to negotiate quite a large proportion potentially of their rooms and their availability to contracted rates. And obviously dynamic rates allows the hotel to better improve their revenue at different times of the year. But if they've portioned off quite a section of their availability to contracted rates, they're not able to earn any more money necessarily on those particular rooms. But I guess it's also about agility and flexibility. If you're able to give and pull back rooms as and when you've got availability, depending on the local, depending on what's happening within the hotel, depending on the different events that are happening, I guess being able to be more dynamic is going to allow the hotel to have greater control over their inventory. But then also with travel and tour operators, they need to start playing the digital game, right? They need to make sure that they're tapping into the same availability of rooms, rates and inventory as and when the market it makes it available. Is that why we're going to see a lot of change within the industry, within travel agents and tour operators?
I would say yes. I mean, we have already started to see these changes some time ago, but I think that the outbreak of COVID will just this will just happen faster, because tour operators won't really have a change. They will need to do that. So to survive, yeah. So we have seen in the past that some of the tour operators that traditionally would only work with contracted rates, they are moving and they have a hybrid. So they have half of the inventory would be contracted and half would be with dynamic pricing, and more. And we're being approached by tour operators that have realized that they need to embrace technology, and they are willing to integrate with us to enable hotels to automatically update their calendar, approve bookings in real time, etc.
Okay, and what advice would you be giving to the hotels at this point in time? What other steps should they be taking to prepare themselves for the return of the marketplace? Should they be changing the way they deliver their services, or should they be looking at other technologies?
I mean, they definitely should get their revenue strategy. They should work on their revenue strategy so that is ready for recovery. There's a lot to do right now, and we believe that preparedness will take them far. We were telling our clients and encouraging them to look ahead, and that right now there's a lot to do. And just like you said, it's the perfect time to research different and new online sales platforms. It's a perfect time to see whether hotels have the correct systems in place. And we're encouraging pretty much everyone to conduct audits in their existing systems. So are they using their technology, the service? Are they using their platforms? Are they taking the most out of the technologies that they already contracted? Do they need perhaps to replace one by the other? Because this is right now the time when they can actually do it.
And I guess it's a chance to be able to look back at that data, see which channels were really performing, how they were performing, what sort of revenue they were getting versus the commission that they were paying, looking at the guests and see where you got the higher value guests. And this is all going to be able to play in a more sustainable revenue management strategy for them moving forward.
Yeah, definitely.
And what sort of resources would you direct hoteliers or the market to better prepare themselves? Do you have any resources available yourself that you're offering, or do you have any suggestions for webcasts, webinars, or digital conferences for people?
I would suggest yours, but that will a lot depend on the market. So we are encouraging our clients to look at the relevant resources for their market. So for example, here in Poland, we would encourage everyone to pretty much look at everything that is published within IGHP. So that would be the hospitality organization for Polish hoteliers, but that will depend a lot from market to market. We're also publishing once in a while some reports and articles in our blog, which our customers and the general public can follow.
Excellent. Wonderful. And I know that things have changed a lot for you, especially your team having to work remotely. Has that been successful?
Yeah, yes, definitely. We're working remotely since March 21st, and it actually turned out that it works pretty well for us. I would say that this is actually one of the things that might also change in the future, the way we will work. I would assume that many of us will start to work remotely, or if not full-time remotely, that we'll start to work from home or like we'll have home offices from time to time.
Yeah, it's almost this, these are the tasks, let's discuss these tasks, let's brainstorm, okay, let's go away and get them done, come back, let's review that, and then set new tasks. It's almost, I found certainly with my team recently is sort of, and in fact, it's almost the way we've always worked, because I've traveled so much and I've always had to be in different places. So you'd have one meeting at the beginning of the week, another meeting in the middle towards the end of the week, and it's almost like a scrum approach. You look through the tasks, you see where you are, you look at adapting, seeing how you can move that forward, set the deadlines, then the next meeting you review those. And I found that a very effective way actually of being able to get things done quicker and faster and keep everyone really focused on what it is that we need to achieve for the business and the clients. And I guess if you're working with different teams in product, customer services and sales, having that sort of approach allows people to then go off and do what they need to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's wonderful. Well, I hope you guys remain safe and well, and that we have the opportunity to chat again very soon about how the market is developing. That's for sure, Soraia. Thanks again for joining us on this program today.
Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for the invite.
Okay, so check out the upcoming podcasts. We're going to have a conversation with Rob Russell from AC Group later this week. And you can also check out some of the podcasts we've already done so far. We are available on Deezer, Spotify, Apple, Google, as well as on YouTube. So check out our website, travelmarket.life. Thanks for joining us. I've been Ryan Haynes, and we will be speaking to you soon.